The Packers once again start off their season with a meltdown on the road, this time against the Minnesota Vikings, losing 23-7. Me and Big B are here this morning to bring you our thoughts, our initial sad emotions as we try to talk ourselves through it. One thing that was big for me in this one was the offensive line. The impact was felt by the misses, the injuries to David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins in this one. You gotta hope they're close to coming back soon. You saw Aaron Rodgers. I would say he didn't trust them, but he seemed to not realize that every play there's going to be a bunch of guys in his face wearing purple. And he seemed to not realize that. And same as well for the game plan. They did not plan accordingly going up against the Darius Smith and Daniel Hunter. The only semblance of a short passing game that they were trying to get going was a screen every other play. Other than that, they really did not plan efficiently. Didn't get the run game going until, midway through the second half. So, disappointing there for the offensive line. Big B, what are your thoughts on the offensive line and the offensive as a whole performance?
Yeah, it was pretty rough from the start for the offensive line. Jake Hansen started the game. Not a big fan of that at all. He got bullied many times during that entire game. Royce Newman held it up okay. I mean, he didn't do as bad as I thought he was going to do, but still not ideal having him at right tackle. And then finally, Zach Tom came in for an injured John Runyon Jr. Did pretty well. First play he was in, I think they ran for like 20 yards. So I don't know how much correlation that has with him being in, but, that's a little fun fact there.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Zach Tom went in, because of an unfortunate injury to John Runyon, the concussion, but as soon as Zach Tom went on, they had 3 consecutive successful runs, and I was like, wow, isn't that incredible? So hopefully they learned their lesson. I don't know if this week it just starting out, it was like we want to go with experience. And this week, and that's ultimately why they went with Hansen over some type of combo with Tom either at right guard or at right tackle, and then moving Newman over. I don't know, man, but hopefully Runyon heals back soon enough so we aren't running with so many backups. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time. And then hopefully next week as well, they make the right move and start Zach Tom from the get-go against the Bears. So that's the offensive line. Like I said, the game plan and Aaron should have been prepared for this performance from the offensive line. Rodgers was sacked 4 times, a lot of plays that he just held on to the ball for too long. He had, the fumble on the first drive of the second half. And that first drive, if they were able to score on that one, that would have been huge. They had 2 great runs with Jones and Dillon, and then they, of course, go for a play action right past the 50, and Rodgers fumbles it, right? And then he has the interception earlier on in the game, which, was near the end of the first half, which, it was more of a desperation throw at that point, but still could have felt like they could have got something out of that drive before the half ended, and then doubled up after the opening half kickoff. So disappointing turnovers from Rodgers. Overall, I wouldn't say it was awful day from Aaron, but certainly disappointing. Did not adjust well to the offensive line's performance.
Yeah, and to be fair on that fumble, I mean, he did get bent into a pretzel on that play, so it's not really Rodgers' fault there, but
should have thrown the ball away.
Yeah.
Hey, he somehow managed to lead the NFL in throwaways in 2018 or 19. Why couldn't we see more of that today? You cowards who punished him, who bullied him for leading the league in throwaways. Why did you do that?
I know.
Now, he should. I wish he would have stuck with that. Now, there were so many plays. I can't remember what it was. I think it was they were going to be in field goal range. It was 3rd down. It was 3rd and 6, and I believe this was sometime in the third quarter. It was 3rd and 6, and it was at this situation in the game, it would have been 4 down territory, and he makes it 4th and 12 by he at first breaks the first attempt at a sack, but then he has 2 or 3 seconds. He's watching Daniel Hunter coming at him, and instead of throwing it away or taking the check down, he just takes a sack, and all of a sudden it's 4th and 12, and it doesn't make sense to go for it like was going to be the original plan, or even take the field goal. So that I think that play right there pretty much sums up how Aaron's lack of awareness, I guess, kind of overall hurt the Packers today.
Hey, but at least Pat O'Donnell had a very solid game. That's
one take. There's that. Hey, man, poor special teams. They perform decent, and I mean, like, they didn't do anything bad, and it obviously nobody cares because of how the rest of the team performed.
Yeah.
The missed opportunities and the little mistakes were the killer for the Packers. Watson's drop touchdown to start the game. The first play from offense, Aaron takes a shot. Watson drops it. Obviously, the nerves kicking in there. And I think if they score that touchdown, making it a tied game, 7-7, and then giving Minnesota the ball back instead of giving them Minnesota ball back after a short offensive drive from Green Bay and having them go up. I think they went up 14-0 after that. Right. Like that drop touchdown is just killer. And then also, like I said, missed opportunities, Rodgers, 2 turnovers, and also the 4th and 1 near the end of the game where they were still in it. Would have taken quite a miracle, but they were still in it at that point. 4th and 1, where he just predetermines he's going to take a shot to Robert Tonyan, who is double covered by Eric Kendricks and a safety behind him, instead of Aaron Jones, who, the perspective is kind of hard from the live TV camera, especially on those shorter curl routes, but it looked like he had Aaron Jones right there for the 1 yard. The 1 yard. And I don't know about that play call either.
Mm-hmm.
And we've emphasized this plenty of times so far, but why not stick to the run game? Aaron Jones only had 8 carries. This is what I was talking about. Why didn't we not prepare for pressure in the passing game and not have the game focused around the run game? Because this was what was supposed to be the plan without Devontae. Like, all right, we don't have Devontae. Wide receiver core is filled with rookies, a guy who's his first year in the system, and an undrafted free agent. Well, I shouldn't describe Lazard as that, but Lazard as a wide receiver 1. The game plan should be, all right, we got 2 great running backs. Let's use them all game. Let's win games with them. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of that today. On the defensive side here, once again, not too many positives. Really struggled with Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook killed them too. Adam Thielen, when they needed him, did not do a great job at stopping those playmakers. Really felt like all the X factors on that defense kind of disappeared throughout the game. I thought Kenny Clark did really well. Sean Gary had his sack. At the start of the game, defense line, front 7 did really good. So kind of disappointing for both sides. Hopefully next week, though, against Chicago, we get up in the win column and also the division. So that's my thoughts. Big B, any rants you want to go on?
Yeah, well, with the defense, I think at the ending of the game, I think they were just so gassed that they, didn't have any energy and couldn't perform up to their level.
Yeah.
And like leaving Justin Jefferson wide open on like 7 different plays just drove me insane during that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the best player on that offense, and it seemed like they had no game plan for him. Really, really frustrating. Jair Alexander said he wanted to cover him and shadow him throughout the game, but Joe Barry didn't want to or something. Also, really frustrating. The whole game is frustrating. That is the word of the game.
Yeah, I felt sicker after that loss, and it sounds like Chris Collinsworth does during this game. Yeah, and speaking of Justin Jefferson, I wish I could root for him. I hate that I have to root against him because he seems so fun, but I can't allow myself to do that. Yeah,
I like him so much, but I can't because he's a Viking, and because he's a Viking, he's super annoying.
Our relationship with Justin Jefferson is just like Romeo and Juliet in a way.
Yes.
But some injury news here as well. You did have Quay Walker go down with a shoulder injury. And then also, who else? We have Keyshawn Nixon, who made a great tackle on his one play from scrimmage. And then what was his injury?
Like shoulder or something.
Okay, that's what it looked like. And then you also had Chris Barnes. So this looks like a serious one. Chris Barnes. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an ACL, maybe MCL, pectoral, some type like that. That looked rough from Chris Barnes. So, hopefully at least one of the two of Quay or Chris can come back soon. I love Isaiah McDuffie. I love the duffel bag, but we want to have our starters out there. And then, like I mentioned earlier, John Runyon dealing with that concussion.
Yes.
One final thing I want to bring up. I wanted to bring up this great tweet from Ross Uglum that I think summed it up great. He just said Rodgers has to play LaFleur ball. He's just going to have to. Yes, it's incredibly unfortunate that Watson dropped a tutty on the first play of the game. There still has to be more to the offense than hold the ball and wait for someone to break through. 40% for someone to break through 40% of your preferred O-line. Yeah, I just, like I said earlier, not preparing for the offensive line to struggle. Mystifying to me. So we'll have to see. Hopefully this team can turn it around like they did last year. I'm not overreacting now. Like I said on our Instagram live stream, there's really not too much you can take away from this game as far as your outlook for the Packers 22 season. Take a deep breath. We'll kill Chicago next week, and then we'll be rolling. Big B, any final thoughts here?
Well, of course, gotta shout out Jamal Williams here. 2 touchdown performance today. Love to see it. Just is the GOAT. Like, he's the best athlete in the entire world. Jamal Williams, shout out.
Best athlete. Wow, that's a new declaration.
Yes.
Hey, I'm already so tired of Devontae Adams and the comparison style the Packers wide receivers are doing. I swear to God, if we see that graphic one more time of Devontae Adams today and the rest of Packers wide receiver core, I swear to God, we will put together a lawsuit.
You do realize that's going to be a thing this entire season.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to accept that fact, but it definitely is. And I'm so disappointed. Like, everything we were hoping for to happen in this Minnesota game just did not happen. You had Za'Darius just like have a sack, be a menace all game. So that was disappointing. But I would say I'm excited for us to own him in week 16 when we play him, but he'll probably be hurt by then, so we probably won't see him.
Oh my.
So
yeah, you're not lying there.
Other than that, that's all we got for you. We'll be joining you this Friday. We'll have our episode out previewing the game against Chicago. Big B will be in town for that game. And then I'm sure if we think of anything else to rant about, we'll have some more content coming to you throughout the week. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe here at Underage Packers, and we'll talk to you later. Go Pack Go.